Welcome to the World Peace Diet Circle. This is Will Tuttle, and I'd like to share a meditation with you about gratitude and the vegan lifestyle. The fundamental teaching of veganism, as we talk about in the World Peace Diet, is to cultivate loving kindness and compassion for others, for other human beings, for animals, for future generations, and for wildlife, for slaughterhouse workers and hungry people, and the whole many levels of beings that are affected by our lives. And when we look at this whole thing from the point of view of the energy of our lives, one of the things I've realized over the years is that from the point of view of the ancient wisdom traditions, for example from China, there's this sense of yin and yang energy. Yin energy is more receptive, yang energy is more active. And so one of the things I think that's important for us to realize as we go through our lives is that both the yin and the yang, or the active and receptive dimensions of our lives, are affected by how we live. And so the point here is that the yang energy, which is essentially giving, is really represented by love, by caring, by nurturing, by giving, by actively doing something to help others. And so essentially as vegans, we're cultivating this yang energy of giving, of sharing, not only of acting in kind ways with others, but also to share the message with others. It's kind of going out and doing something. And we feel, I think, as agents of love, there's a certain sense of having of doing a worthwhile activity. The yin dimension of this whole thing is gratitude. It's when I am cared for, I am nurtured, someone loves me, I feel this benevolent universe touching in some way my life. Then there's this sense of gratitude. So loving kindness and gratitude are, in a sense, the yang and the yin of the energy of the universe. There's this giving, this love, which is the yang energy, and then there's the receiving of being blessed and nurtured and cared for by this benevolent, loving universe, and that brings up gratitude. And so I think as we practice love, it's also important to practice gratitude, to actually take time to practice being grateful every day, to practice being loving. I think I've given all of you the 4 Viharas meditation, which is love, compassion, joy, and peace, but it's really focusing on love. And the other practice I think that's really helpful is to practice feeling grateful, to just feel grateful for no reason necessarily, or to perhaps think of things that we're grateful for, and then go from there just into a feeling of gratitude. But it's beautiful, I think, to have a sense of joy that needs no reasons in the outer world, and also to have a sense of gratitude that actually needs no reasons in the outer world, specifically just being grateful for being alive. And that this will help us to continue on as activists, as advocates, as educators, and really as people living in a society where it's very difficult and lonely, and we don't feel very understood oftentimes as vegans by our culture, and knowing the tremendous violence that is being committed against animals on a regular basis, and no one seems to care about that. All of these things can weigh us down. So to practice this practice of gratitude, I think, is very helpful in keeping us healthy psychologically, mentally, emotionally, and culturally. And we realize that the beautiful sun, the mountains, the trees, the air, the water, our lives, our loved ones, people we care about, the birds, there's always dimensions within our lives that we can find to be grateful for, and that gratitude and love feed each other. The more grateful I am, the more loving I can be. The more loving I can be, the more grateful I become. These two really feed each other, I think, and this is something that lately I've been pondering more and more and realizing that I'd like to share it with you as part of the teachings. So I'd like to just close now with playing a little bit of music and maybe beginning a short meditation on gratitude. So let's just take a moment, just feel our connection with our own inner light and with our breathing, and become aware of our breathing, and allow ourselves to connect within our heart with the feeling of love that we have for others. The feeling of wanting others to be happy, a feeling of benevolence and goodwill. And with every exhalation, we allow this feeling of love to radiate from our hearts in every direction, filling the whole world with love. Breathing and radiating love. And now we open our hearts to the feeling of gratitude. This is the feeling of thankfulness, of thanksgiving, of appreciation that we have for our life, the precious gift of a human birth, and this opportunity to grow in wisdom and compassion. So abiding in gratitude, abiding in a sense of being appreciative for all of the blessings in our life, all the kindness, all the abundance and beauty unfolding in every way, the abundance, the air to breathe and water to drink and food to eat and light, cycles of nature, and behind everything and within everything, all appearances, the infinite loving presence of love, of truth, of spirit, of life itself. And just allowing this feeling of gratitude to fill our heart. So now as we inhale gratitude. And as we exhale love. Inhaling gratitude and exhaling loving kindness. Breathing as we inhale gratitude, and as we exhale, love. Breathing in gratitude and breathing out love and compassion. Abiding in gratitude and love, the true essence of our being, of life. Remembering the truth of the interconnectedness of all of us, and the essential benevolence of the universe. Just doing this now, just on your own. Inhaling gratitude and exhaling love and compassion. Breathing and radiating love, inhaling gratitude, we go forth into our lives. Thank you so much for being part of the awakening of our society and of our culture of humanity to the truth that we are.